rent by the room strategy is currently the hot strategy out there because of the economy that we're in. Now, before you go and run to switch your property into a rent by the room model or buy a property for this model, I want to really make sure that you are aware of some of the nuances. I currently have a property in PadSplit, which is one of the co-living platforms and currently the one that is dominating the market. So with PadSplit, you put your property with them. They technically lease the property from you, and then they go out there and market the property on your behalf. Then you get, members, which are really tenants that rent your room by the week. You get charged, a lease-up fee and management fee from PadSplit, but it's a great model in many locations and for many people, but it's not for everyone. And that's one of the things that I always talk about strategies. You have to make sure the strategy matches your preferences, your style of investing, your goals. Is it in alignment? And so I knew going in that PadSplit was probably not going to be in alignment with me, but I said, what the heck, let's give it a try, because we were moving abroad to Colombia and that was our primary home. We originally started with 6 bedrooms in our house and now we have a 7th bedroom, but we are getting a lot of complaints because once a house becomes really full, it's a lot harder to manage tenants. Now, a 3-bedroom will probably be a lot easier to handle than our 7-bedroom. So that's another thing to consider. There's people out there are getting 10-bedroom houses, 12-bedroom houses, and it works well for them. But for somebody like me who wants to be more hands-off and just chill at home with my kids and not have to be dealing with buyers all the time, I already have other properties that require my attention, but this one is more intensive. The one thing that keeps coming up is obviously, members just not matching personalities, them not liking each other, somebody's making too much noise, somebody's touching their utensils, somebody's eating their food, bringing unauthorized guests, and taking on the parking spot that belongs to somebody else, just all kinds of things. But one of the ones that really bothers me is some people not paying. And one of the things that happens specifically with the platform is that they're allowed to carry $300 balance, indefinitely, and most members do end up taking advantage of that, and then they end up moving out owing money. Turnover has been a lot more than I expected. If you're going to self-manage, it's just a matter of setting the right systems and processes to make sure that you don't get overwhelmed with these things, right? That if you do end up hiring help for this, that you train them correctly so that they know the house, that they have a process to follow whenever somebody comes and complains about certain issues. And obviously there's so much of this that you can leverage to AI these days. But with that being said, I just want to make sure you have the right expectations coming in. This is not going to be a walk in the park. When comparing it to like Airbnb and midterm rental, I still think that midterm rentals are still like the easiest path. Short-term rentals have their own complications. I just think that they're just different, right? You're managing different expectations from the guests that are booking. So I don't know. I don't prefer either because, like I said, I like simplicity. Long-term rentals all the way for me. The more passive the investment can be, the better. So let's dive into the numbers and just take a look at it and see where we at, what's happening. So this is what the PadSplit numbers are looking at so far. If we're looking from September to June, which is when we put it on the market, you can see that we stabilized in December where we got like the actual rent. So we can really count with December and forward to be more of a realistic expectation of our averages. So just by looking at this quickly, we could probably say that about $4,000 is the kind of average. Now, just keep in mind that in June, we actually added a room. And we expected to see things to actually spike up. So we're here in Baseline real quick. So I'm going to download this on a PDF file. Let's take a look at this. When we're looking at the bottom line, this is what we're dealing with. You see? So really, obviously these are the first months, but when you add up these numbers right here, we're still negative. We did have some CapEx expenses in here, but overall, this is not a winner. And we really have to make a decision on whether we're going to keep it or not. So what would you do? This one's a tough one because there's not a lot of equity as our primary homes. And letting go of our house means that when we go back to the States, we have to find a new place. But the numbers are talking and we are going to be listening. We're giving it 3 more months to see If it gets better now that it has the 7 bedroom and it should bring some more consistent cash flow, TBD on that. I would love to hear your thoughts on should we keep it or sell it. Let me know in the comments and make sure to stay tuned for more videos and seeing what we end up doing with this property by the end of our 3-month period, which is September.